My co-founder of 7 years owns 35% of the company, and we just got a $2 million offer to sell his stake to a competitor. I can match it and buy it myself, but it also drains my runway for the next 4 months.
Before you decide whether to match the offer, I need to know the structure of what happens if you don't. Does your co-founder's stake go to a competitor who then sits on your board, sees your strategy, knows your unit economics? Or can you negotiate terms that prevent that? Because the price of the stake is not the real cost. The cost is what that competitor does with the information and leverage they gain. If they get both the equity and the seat, you've paid $2 million to hand them your company's skeleton key. That changes the math entirely.
I'd push back on the frame here. You're treating this as a binary, match or lose, but the real question is whether your company survives the next 4 months on fumes. A $2 million acquisition of your own equity is not an investment. It's consumption of capital that was meant to keep you operational. What's your burn rate? How many months of runway do you actually need to reach the next milestone that changes your valuation or gets you to profitability? Because if you burn through 4 months and then can't execute, you've bought a 35% stake in a company that fails. The competitor knows your runway. They know you're constrained. They set the offer knowing you might panic into accepting it.
Hamilton's right about the tactical problem, but he's not addressing the strategic one. The competitor made an offer to your co-founder, not to you. That means they want him out and you weakened. If you match it, you get what you wanted, unified control, but at the cost of 4 months of vulnerability. If you don't match it, your co-founder becomes a minority shareholder in a company where a competitor now has leverage. The question is not the price. The question is, what does your co-founder actually want? Does he want liquidity or does he want out? If he wants liquidity, can you structure a deal that gives it to him without draining your runway? A note, a dividend, equity in the buyer if you sell later. If he wants out because he's lost faith in the company, then matching the offer doesn't solve anything. It just delays the moment when you realize you're running a company you don't believe in anymore.
You need to have a direct conversation with your co-founder before you decide anything. Not a negotiation, a conversation. Ask him why he's considering this. Is the competitor offering him something beyond money? A title, a role, an escape from something he's tired of? And tell him plainly, if he takes their offer, what happens to the company you built together? Because if he's genuinely checked out, you need to know that now. Not after you've spent $2 million to keep him in a seat he doesn't want. If he's still committed but needs liquidity, that's solvable without destroying your runway. But you cannot know which until you ask him directly. And you cannot ask him directly if you're already in a defensive crouch trying to outbid a competitor. Move first. Move before the competitor's offer becomes the frame of the conversation.